the tone of, the, which is kind of cool. So let's keep it going. Alright, what's going on, YouTube friends and family? My name is Princeton Brown of Sonic Gold Productions, and I'm here today to bring a brand new mix by my guy Matthew Webb. This song is called "You Give Good Love." It's a nice R&B track, and I'm going to dive in and teach you guys how to mix an R&B song. So if you make R&B music or you're interested in learning how to mix an R&B song, all the steps in the process, we're dealing with guitars and different vocals and backgrounds and all these different things. Watch how I dive in and process this song. You're definitely going to learn something. If you struggle with mixing at home, if you're an engineer, a producer, an artist, and you just can't get your mixes sounding right, I have a completely free guide for you that I would love for you to download because it's going to give you a lot of valuable information. The link is in the description below for you to download. Basically, it's going to walk you through the 7 or 8 different steps that you need to be doing before you get to the mixing stage. If you do these, your mixes are going to turn out much better in the end. There's definitely some great tips in there for you, so make sure you download that guide, and hopefully that will jumpstart you down a path of achieving greater mixes in the future. So download link right in the description below. Without further ado, let's dive into this song and check out how I mix. So I'm going to play a little bit of the song just from the beginning. I pretty much got everything organized here. Purple is lead vocals here. We got blue, which is some other vocals. This is a different vocal group. We have some instruments like some, finger snaps, guitar, a heartbeat, which is kind of like a drum, and we got some other vocals here. So I'm going to play it, and I'm going to do some rough volume, volume things here so we can get a general balance of the song. Here we go.
You give good love, baby. You give good love, baby. You give good love to me. You give good love, baby. You on a two-way street, love, baby. You would've knew, love, baby. That you'd be the one I'd run into, love, baby. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, brighten each other up, 'cause you give good love. Well, you give good love. Well, you give good love.
Ladies, have you ever been in love? Nah, I'm not talking about that young love. Have you really ever been in love? Not that love that got you falling head.
So that kind of gives you an idea of this track. So let's start creating some different buses. So we got vocals, we got music. I'll do a lead. I know we have the talking vocal. Alright, so, and then, we can do some effects like a plate, reverb, D1 for delay 1, D2 for another delay. We can do like a hall. I'm just getting some general effects kind of queued up. So now all of these buses I want to send into the vocal bus because I want to make sure everything is going through the vocals. Let's see, where's the vocals? Boom. And then we're going to solo safe all of these, solo safe these two. And so this is our lead, right? These purple ones. So I'm going to send the outputs of those to the lead. I'm going to send these ones are the talking vocals. So we're going to send these talking vocals to the talking. We're going to send these ones to the vocals because I know these are vocal tracks. I don't know what. They're kind of like some backgrounds. Let's give them a different color for now. So right here is our music tracks. So we'll send that to music. And these are also vocal tracks as well. So let's actually put those over here. So we got music tracks in blue and different vocal groups with different coloring going on here. And as you can see, these purple and this purple, like the colors are kind of close. So I like to switch it up just so it's something completely different. So my eye can easily see it and find it. So that's kind of like how I like to organize my vocals. So now what I'll do is just play the track from the beginning and I'll just start to work on mainly the lead vocal. Usually I like to, tune and EQ and compress and like basically do all the processing on the vocals so that they mesh better with the music and then work on the overall sound picture, if you will. So that's kind of the process that I'm going to be doing here. So check it out.
You give good love, baby. You give good love, baby. You give good love to me. You give good love, baby. You
on a two-way street.
love, baby. You
Who would've knew
love, baby. You
that you'd be the one?
So let's work on this vocal right here. We'll just highlight this section and we'll just solo this.
On a two-way street. Who would've knew that you'd be the one?
So already we're getting some plosives, which is like, when you sing close to the mic, you get a lot more bass response. So you get a lot of the B's and P's, boom, 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 all of that. We kind of want to reduce some of that. So actually I'm going to draw for the F6 because this EQ, you can actually compress the different bands. And so I'll find those bands and kind of, compress those a bit. So let's do that.
On a two-way street. Who would've knew that you'd be the one I'd run into? And it feels so right pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love. On a two-way street. Would've knew that you'd be the one I'd run into?
So basically, I'm high passing, so I'm getting out all the mud, and I'm compressing the low end so that it's a little bit more, the tone of the vocal is a little more natural. So I think I need to compress it a little bit more. So let's keep going.
On a two-way street. Who would've knew that you'd be the one I'd run into?
So that's not bad. Now I would like to compress the vocal, and let's compress the vocal so it's a little bit more consistent with the words. I'm gonna go for this compressor off the back, and let's just try it out. I'm not looking for super heavy compression, just something that can hold the general vocal in place so that the vocal range isn't too dramatic.
On a two-way street. Who would've knew that you'd be the one I'd run into? And it feels so right pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love.
Play it
On
back.
a two-way street, who would've knew that you'd be the one I'd run into? And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give on a two-way street, who would've knew that you'd be the one I'd run into? And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you
So the reason why I chose the 1176 compressor is because I really like how it can get a vocal kind of snappy. Not so much like an SSL. An SSL is really snappy and attacky on the vocal, but 1176 allows you to kind of get some nice like level compression, but also kind of get some, that vocal just kind of a little bit more aggressive and snap out. And so like when he's really hitting those high notes and other notes, like I really want his vocal just to really snap out and really grab you. And I think this compressor does that dynamically with how it just functions. So that's why I chose this one. Let's keep going.
on a two-way street, who would've knew that you'd be the one?
So I definitely think there's some frequencies that we can clean up in the mids, some mud. So I'm going to go ahead and get like a really tight cue and try and find those, those room tones. It's like, you can always hear when an artist records in a room, you can hear the sound of that room. So we want to get rid of those mid-range frequencies and duck them out.
That you'd be the one.
That's that tone right there. We just definitely don't want that in the vocal. It's not really pleasant, so let's duck it out.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right.
And I'll add just a general boost on the top end of the vocal to give it a little bit more clarity.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. That you'd be the one I'd run into.
There's a little bit of resonances below this frequency as well, so let's try and duck those. So you can hear that frequency right there. That sounds like that room, so we want to duck this as much as we can.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. That you'd be the one I'd run into.
So right now the vocal is sounding pretty clean. I think that's a good starting spot. Let's hear it in the mix with the music.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you.
So for sure this vocal has this song in general has like a very old school vibe to me. Feels very old school R&B. So for that I want to capture that with the reverbs, vintage reverb. So I'll use the Valhalla vintage verb, and let's try and find a preset that gives me that nice like Temptations type sound with it. I think this is on the hall. Is it on the hall? Yep, it's on the hall. Here we go.
That you'd be the one I'd run into.
So that might be too big of a haul. Let's try some different presets.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love. That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you.
Sounds pretty good. I like the tone of that verb, so let's hear it in the mix.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love. Well, you give good love.
So right here we can automate the reverb as well, which would sound really cool and give it a lot more space. But for at the moment, yeah, we can let's do that automation on the volume here of the aux itself. So check this out.
So right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love. Well, you give good love. Well, you give good love.
Ladies, have you ever been in love?
Good love.
Nah, I'm not talking about that young love. Have you really ever been in love?
So just like that, like when he's doing the falsetto stuff, I think it's really cool to automate the reverb and just make it sound like it's just going in such a bigger and bigger space. Like that's kind of a trick that you can do. So let's play back this vocal again. Make sure that we're good to go at this point in the mix to move on to a different part.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right.
I think I want to add a little bit more clarity to this vocal, so let's find like an EQ. Let's see which one we want to use. There's always so many EQs. I think I really like the Pulse Tech EQs because they're smooth. Yeah, let's try this actually. So here we go.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love.
That might work for now. Let's hear it in the mix.
That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love. That you'd be the one I'd run into. And it feels so right, pulling up to see you, writing each other up. 'Cause you give good love. Well, you give good love. Well, you give good love.
Have you
So right here, I turned down the clip gain just a little bit because we have some talking going on here. So we definitely don't want the falsetto vocals he's doing here to overpower these talking vocals. So now let's go into the talking vocals. I'll just mute the lead here and see if we can mix these in with the music.
have you ever been in love? Nah. I'm not talking about that young love.
So for this, I'm just going to use a basic SSL channel. Let's mute the music. So mute the music track. And again, this is the advantage of organizing your session. Instead of having to like mute all of these tracks just to mute the music, I can just, go to the music bus, mute, and now I can just focus on the talking vocal. So that's kind of nice. So let's go to the talking vocal here.
Have you ever been in love? Nah.
Let's add some high
I'm not
end.
talking about that young love. Have you really ever been in love?
I'm going to take some low end out.
Have you ever been in love? Nah. I'm not talking about that young love. Have you really ever been in love? Not that love that got you falling head over heels. Nah, not that. Make you trip and fall and stumble and lose who you really are. I'm talking that kind of love that have you feeling good, fulfilled, and got your heart beating in the tune of his. Yeah, I've been in love. Ladies, I'm in love. And it feels like...
There's a part in here. So basically what I did with the EQ was I rolled off some low end. I boosted a lot of high end because there wasn't much in her vocal. There was a little bit of nasally frequencies around, what was that, 1.1K or so. So I ducked that with a really tight Q, just so I can duck out the nasally frequencies. We don't want that, especially in, something that's like talking and not singing. You definitely don't want that. And then there's a little bit of a background noise here. I'm going to try and locate that and take that out.
I'm talking that kind of love that have you feeling good, fulfilled, and got your heart beating in the tune of his. Yeah, I've been in love. Yeah, I've been in love. Been in love.
So since that little, I don't know what happened, maybe she stepped to the side or something, that little background noise, it's in the waveform itself, so I can't really take that out, so we'll just keep going.
Love. Ladies, I'm in love. And it feels like...
Let's hear how this sounds in the mix.
I'm talking that kind of love that have you feeling good, fulfilled, and got your heart beating in the tune of his.
So I think we can do some compression to just kind of make the talking vocal, it's like this section to me is like someone is narrating the song. So I want to make sure that voice is like above everything, above the music. It's like you're reading a book. You want that, well above the mix of the music and everything. So here we go.
I'm talking that kind of love that have you feeling good, fulfilled, and got your heart beating in the tune of his. Yeah, I've been in love. Ladies, I'm in love. And it feels like... 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 And it feels like...
Calling on me, checking in to see what might happen in the...
So right here, it's the same lead vocal. So we'll just, put those over here, just like this. And now let's dive over to the lead too. So as you can see, as I'm working through this mix, I am, doing as much as I can think of in the moment for each individual group, vocal group. And then once I have that group taken care of processing wise, then I move on to the next one. And I kind of just work my way through the song from beginning to end. Anything that instantly comes up or triggers my ear, I deal with it right then because I know exactly what I want to do in that moment. So, if you instantly hear something, don't wait. Just deal with it right then in that moment as it comes up. But here we go to the second verse. I have it labeled as lead 2, so check it out.
And it feels like
Calling overnight, checking in to see what might happen in this heated situation. Down below your lips, debating, coming over right. Girl, stop putting up a fight. Teasing only make your head go.
So this vocal would be cool to have like a slight delay effect. I think it would make it more dramatic. So let's grab the H delay. Where are you? All right, so we got the H delay and dry wet all the way down, all the way up. So we got the wet all the way up here. And let's send this to the delay. So we go D1. And let's hear how this sounds. We'll dial it in and tweak it as we go.
Calling overnight, checking in to see what might happen in this heated situation. Down below your.
And I'm just going to dial this in manually. So I'm going to go to MS, which is just milliseconds. I'm going to dial in the exact delay time manually because I don't know the tempo of this song. And sometimes you don't want the actual delay right on beat. So let's dial it in.
Calling overnight, checking in to see what might happen in this heated situation. Down below your lips, debating, coming over right. Girl, stop putting up a fight. Teasing only make your head go crazy. We ain't gotta make up.
So it's kind of like a cool slap delay. I think it gives, it gives the whole thing just a different vibe, more dramatic. Especially in this section of the song, I feel like it's really dramatic, so I want to emphasize that.
Calling overnight, checking in to see what might happen in this heated situation. Down below your lips, debating, coming over right. Girl, stop putting up a fight. Teasing only make your head go crazy. We ain't gotta make a baby. Let it be tender loving. Talk to me.
So right here we got, so I'll do VG1, vocal group 1. We got some vocals here that are doing like some oohs and stuff, so I definitely want to process them together so they have a similar sound. So these yellow tracks, I'm going to send these to VG1. Here we got vocal group 1, and let's process these oohs and get a nice clean sound with them. Here we go.
Tender loving, talk to me.
So first thing I'll do is bounce them, just the faders. That sounds pretty good. And then once I got the balance, that's pretty decent, I'll group them so that balance is locked in no matter what I do here. The faders stay, at the levels that I want. And now let's mix them in with the rest of the music.
Talk to me while you're coming. You ain't gotta hide what you feeling for me.
So I think what would sound cool for these vocals is like if we put these in a room, kind of like an old. Again, I'm thinking like really old school R&B, so I want to put these in like a vocal room. Hey, what's going on, guys? If you're someone who struggles with mixing, I have a free resource that I would love to share with you and I think that could really help you. It's a brand new mini course that I've uploaded to my website called 6 Mix Finalizers. In this course, it's going to teach you 6 different ways that you can finalize your mix. I know a lot of the times we get to the ending of our mix stage and we're just unsure if our mix is completely finished. By taking this mini course, you're going to have complete confidence and satisfaction in that final mix that you do put so much time and energy into, and you're going to be so confident in finishing it and finalizing that mix. This course is also going to teach you 6 different ways to enhance your mix at the end of the mixing stage. So it's going to give you some tips and tricks for things to look out for that a lot of people miss and a lot of people don't look out for when they're finalizing their mix. It's going to show you how to get the perfect vocal volume in your mix. It's going to show you how to tighten up your bass, get more punch, a lot of great things to enhance your mix right at the end as you're about to finalize it. So if you want complete confidence and satisfaction with your mixes and just knowing that, yo, I've done everything that I possibly could and I know that this mix is done now that I've taken this course and I learned a few things, you can totally take that course completely for free. Link is in the description below to take that course on my website. So I hope I can show you guys a few things and become your teacher. Peace. Basically, the oohs, I'm thinking of these vocals as like an old, R&B song, and I want to put these vocals in a vocal room where it's like you got your lead singer and like the Temptations. The rest of them are like just behind you doing their vocal thing, and it gives you a cool effect. So let's find something like that with this. I really love this plugin by Eventide. T-Verb. Really nice, natural sounding reverbs. So let's try and find some ambiance that's going to work for these vocals. See right there, that's kind of cool. It gives it like a stereo imaging effect. And honestly, that's as much as I do with it. I really don't need to do too much. I find the effect that I want. I can pan these oohs a little bit now too. So yeah, it's kind of like that. Panning. Let's check it out in the mix.
Talk to me while you're coming. You ain't gotta hide what you feeling for me. Talk to me while you're coming. You ain't gotta.
So another thing that I like to emphasize with vocals like this is because they're doing the, they're doing that type of thing. There's not a lot of high frequency information, and I want to feel like the air that these vocals are pushing out. So to do that, I'm gonna reach for this Moog EQ, and I really like this because it has an air band. It has an air function. And I can just push this out and get some more air out of the vocals. So check out what I mean by this. So you hear the difference. You can really hear just that high end, just clarity that you don't get otherwise. So there we go.
Talk to me while you're coming. You ain't gotta hide what you feeling for me. Talk to me while you're coming. You ain't gotta hide what you feeling for me.
I think there's one section here. Sometimes when people record with a laptop, they press the space bar, and I think I'm hearing that. Yeah, right there, you know, you can hear that. So as a mixing engineer, you know, you definitely want to clean up stuff that, you know, your client may have missed. You can see it here again. So cleaning up all that spacebar stuff. That one was good. What's this? So sometimes, you know, all you got to do in Pro Tools is hit this button here, and you can, you know, bring up the waveforms to see if there's any like random clicks and things in there like these. Got some random clicks in there that we don't want, so just clean that up. Make sure everything is nice and clean. Alright, sounds nice. So let's check out this whole section here.
Make your head go crazy. We ain't gotta make a baby. Let it be tender loving. Talk to me while you're coming. You ain't gotta hide what you feeling for me. And it feels like when it feels like, and it feels like it. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, and it feels like.
So this section right here, I definitely want to emphasize a lot because to me it kind of feels like the chorus, but I don't want to change the volume because the volume of this section was already really nicely set. So I'm going to clip gain this up because I think it's sung kind of low. Check it out.
And it feels like when it feels like, and it feels like it. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, and it feels like.
Sounds nice. So I'm also hearing where we could do like these vocals could have like a little bit of a delay tail, the little background vocals here. Be kind of nice. So check this out. I'm gonna add this delay, which I really like because it's already automatically a stereo delay. And it gives a cool stereo effect. And then we're going to do the send of this to D2. And so check out what this delay is doing. So as you can hear there, it's like an echo. It kind of extended the tone of, you know, the, which is kind of cool. So let's keep it going.
Oh, 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 and it feels like
that's kind of cool. You know, it's like a little delay. It kind of extends it instead of it just cutting. You know, allows those cool harmonies just to swirl in the mix a little bit. Gives it a cool vibe.